Good afternoon, everybody. We have major breaking news coming in from Old Trafford, from Manchester United on this Monday afternoon. And I think this news, to be fair, has been coming for a very long time. But Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim after 14 months in charge, which is a year and 2 months. Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United. We will read the statement that Manchester United have released on the Ruben Amorim situation today. But Manchester United have now on their 11th manager in 13 years, which is massively scary. The fall from grace from this football club is nothing more than a complete and utter embarrassment. 11 managers in 13 years is massively scary. I'm not surprised Ruben Amorim has been sacked. I think his sacking has been coming for a very long time. And I'm not surprised Manchester United have decided to pull the trigger. But what I'm disappointed is that Ineos were the guys that appointed this manager. Ineos were the ones that wanted Ruben Amorim as their manager. And they put all their faith and belief in Amorim that he was going to be the next big thing. He was going to be the manager that takes Manchester United back to the top. He was the chosen one to get Manchester United back to where they needed to be. I can't believe we have sacked another manager. It's nothing more than a complete embarrassment to wake up to on a Monday morning, and having to react to it on a Monday afternoon is nothing more than a complete and utter embarrassment. This football club are going to get pelters. The fan base are going to get laughed at. We are going to be mocked all day. And Sky Sports News have got the Ruben Amorim coverage until 5 o'clock this evening, which is nothing more than a complete and utter embarrassment towards the fans and the supporters of once a great football club that Manchester United once were. Where do we go from here? I honestly don't know. The club, again, is rotten to the core. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we turn. I don't know how Manchester United are going to be able to get their season back on track. Will there be improvement? Will certain players be back in the fold? Will all these injured players that we got out at the moment be returning to the squad? But Ineos and the Glazers need to fuck off, says Steve. I completely agree with you on you with Steve on that. You predicted it, bro, but I didn't believe it. So disappointed, says Kian. I did predict it last night. I called it last night that Ruben Amorim, it would not surprise me if he was sacked on Monday, and that is exactly what's happened. I didn't really want to believe the rumours. I didn't want to believe that Amorim was going to be sacked. I really wanted this to work out. But this clearly wasn't going to work. And clearly, whatever has gone on behind the scenes today and over Friday and Saturday, there's been a major fallout between the board and Amorim. There's been a major bust-up between Amorim and Jason Wilcox. And apparently, the decision was made on Friday before we even kicked a ball against Leeds yesterday afternoon that Amorim was going to be sacked anyway. And the plan was to basically let this happen on the Monday afternoon so Manchester United can get as much interactions as they want as possible. I think this sacking was planned for weeks. And to announce it on Friday that you was going to sack him anyway before a big game against Leeds is nothing more than an embarrassment. If you were going to sack the manager, you might as well have just sacked him weeks ago. If you lost faith in the manager and you didn't have belief that he was going to turn things around, Manchester United should have just sacked Ruben Amorim there and then. And unfortunately, what they've done today is let the whole world know what a complete and utter embarrassment and shit show and a circus we are again. Because it is a pantomime. It is a circus. It's majorly embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be associated with this club. I'm embarrassed to support them at times. And it's shocking to see another football club fail another manager. We've gone through 10 managers in the last 13 years. So we've gone from David Moyes to Ryan Giggs. We've gone from Ryan Giggs to Louis van Gaal. We've gone from Louis van Gaal to Jose Mourinho. We've gone from Jose Mourinho to Michael Carrick. We've gone from Michael Carrick to Eric Ten Hag. To Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We've gone from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, it is a shit show. It is an absolute fucking shit show. I'm embarrassed to even be associated with this club. And even Romano has tweeted it. 13 years, 10 managers for this football club. Wilcox and Barada need to go. They are a complete joke. I completely agree with you on that. Might as well have sacked him after the Europa League final. Yeah, it's probably because of the transfer window that Amorim has now suffered this fate. So we've gone from David Moyes to Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs to Louis van Gaal, Louis van Gaal to Jose Mourinho, Mourinho to Solskjaer, Solskjaer to Carrick, Carrick to Ragnick, Ragnick to Ten Hag, Ten Hag to Rude, Rude to Amorim. We've now gone from Amorim to Darren Fletcher. Darren Fletcher has been given the interim job for the Burnley and Brighton games, which is nothing more than a complete and utter shit show, especially what Darren Fletcher has been through in his personal life. Darren Fletcher has been given the interim job for Burnley and Brighton. What does that say about Manchester United? There's clearly no idea who we bring in. You did call it. I did call it. Exactly. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow on TikTok if you're watching. We're here to react to Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United this morning. I did call it yesterday that it would not be a big surprise that Manchester United dismissed this manager. And I did call it last night. I did call it last night that this was going to happen. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised we've done this. We should have done this earlier. If they wanted Amorim gone, they should have done it a lot sooner. There was plenty of opportunities to get this manager gone. I do sympathise with Amorim, and I think why I sympathise with him, I think he's frustrated that he wasn't given signings for January. He obviously wanted Semenyo brought in. That deal fell through. He's going to Manchester City, which I do fully respect, because Man City, there's a lot more of a stable club. There's an opportunity to win trophies and there's an opportunity to win titles plenty at Manchester City, which I completely respect. So I think Amorim has fucked off. We haven't got Semenyo in. I'm not surprised they sacked him as Man United, as Manchester manager. Manchester United are rubbish. His stubbornness hasn't helped him. Completely agree with that. I'm not surprised we're in this situation. I'm not surprised we're in this situation, but it just shows what a laughing stock it is. From top to bottom, this football club is rotten from the core. It's absolutely rotten. And I feel sorry for Amorim. He wanted January signings and basically the club have said you're not getting any. And he thought they were going to get him Semenyo, and obviously he's going to Man City. So that clearly has pissed off Amorim even more. And there was a major bust-up between Jason Wilcox and Amorim on the Friday before the Leeds game that a decision was going to be made anyway to sack Amorim in the first place. So why did Manchester United just grab the balls by the horn and just sack him there and then? Why didn't they just sack him before the Leeds game? If they weren't happy and there was bust-ups galore going on behind the scenes, which no one knew about, not even myself, I didn't know any of this shit was kicking off behind the scenes. Why did Manchester United just sack him there and then? Because the problem is you've given him 14 months in charge. You've basically only given him one transfer window to turn this shit around. You gave him one transfer window, but people will say, well, you gave him 250 million in the summer. That wasn't enough. 250 million last summer in 2025 was nowhere near enough. This club needs at least $500 million being spent on the first team squad. There's too many players in this squad that have got player power. A lot of these players are going to be celebrating with one another tonight because yet again, another manager has been sacked because of these players. These players yet again have won. Ineos have won. The Glazers have won. Everybody in that football club have probably got the champagne out right now, celebrating that Amorim is gone. They're probably sat there celebrating that Amorim's gone. And apparently it's always the manager's fault. Every time it goes wrong, it's always the manager's fault. It's always Amorim to blame. It's always the manager's problem. The problem is with this football club, soon as Sir Alex Ferguson fucked off, soon as he retired from managing, the Glazers took back control because the Glazers knew they couldn't be dictated to anymore. The Glazers were shit scared of Sir Alex Ferguson, and deep down they know it. They were shit scared of him. What Sir Alex Ferguson wanted, he always got. The only transfer that he didn't get back was the 2012 season where he wanted Ronaldo and he wanted Bale, both brought in from Real Madrid. That is the only summer Sir Alex Ferguson never got proper backing, but he still managed to win a final league title, and we were 20 times champions of England, which is now no longer existing because Liverpool have now overtaken us as the greatest football club ever in our history. He will go elsewhere and be a quality manager. We are toxic. Not even myself, why would you know? The next manager would be brave to join us. How have they won? They've literally had to pay him off. Garnacho liking the tweet as well, which is a disgrace. That's what Ruben got rid of. Player power wins. Who do we bring in? And an up-and-coming manager like Amorim was, or a top-class manager to steady us? How is that a win? 100% agree with you. Sky Sports just released Gareth Southgate has been approached. You was pushing Amorim out for ages and now you switched. Save yourself the embarrassment. The whole Manchester United were rubbish. It's not the manager's fault. Post-Ferguson, it's been a shit show at Manchester United. Southgate has been approached. He wasn't sacked because of results. That's just the excuse people are using. How have Ineos won? They have to pay him off. We need the Crystal Palace manager. I honestly don't know what's going to happen from here. But it shows the shit show we are. It shows the embarrassment that we are. The owners are the problem. It's clear 9 managers in 12 years. We've actually on manager number 11 in 13 years. If someone would have said to me, Manchester United would be on manager number 11 inside 13 years, I never would have believed you. If I knew it was going to go this far backwards, I would have abandoned this club a long time ago. It's massively, massively embarrassing. No manager can save us from these owners. Leads are clear. No manager, no coach is going to be able to get us back to where we need to be, because you've got to deal with Ineos. You've got to deal with the Glazers. Ineos have got to go after this today. Omar Barada, I want gone. I want Jason Wilcox removing as well. Ineos are the biggest problem at this football club as well as the Glazers. Both of them working together was a disaster waiting to happen. Soon as Ineos got into bed with the Glazers, had a bit of hanky-panky and had a bit of fun time in the bedroom, that's the problem this football club has now got to face itself with. We are stuck with Ineos. We are stuck with the Glazers. There's no way, no matter what coach, what manager, what players you bring in, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change anytime soon. And thank you for the 11 2026s, very much appreciated. And thank you for the rose as well. We need Elon Musk. I'll take Carrick until the summer. Low-key Bruno at Cam, Kobe's career saved, and Ahmed at wing is the only positive light. We just need a refresher. I wish the Saudis had brought us. Thank fuck he was sacked. He wasn't playing ball. Glazers, the gym need to go gone as well. The whole football club, like I said, is rotten from top to bottom. And we're basically repeating the cycle. We're basically repeating the cycle over and over again. Man United are basically a bike. Manchester United basically are a bike. We're a bike on wheels going round and round and round and round in circles all the fucking time. To have 11 managers in 13 years is an absolute disgrace. It is nothing more than a complete and utter shit show. It's embarrassing. How can we be on manager number 11 inside 13 years? And especially to give Darren Fletcher the interim role for Burnley and Brighton is nothing more than embarrassing. And that's the only 2 games Darren Fletcher's been given. He's only been given Brighton and Burnley. And then apparently we're bringing in another coach to get us till the end of the season, which I don't understand which coach that's going to be, what manager we're going to go for. There doesn't seem to be a continuing plan. There doesn't seem to be a strategy. I think Ineos today have massively, massively fucked themselves over. It shows the type of people they are. It shows the incompetence. Sir Jim Ratcliffe hasn't got a clue about football. Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox are basically just yes men to Sir Jim. Pathetic decision to sack him, says David. Ruben should have stayed, says Cart. United are a magic roundabout, which is very, very true. Thank you for the rose as well, homework, very much appreciated. It shows the mess we're in. Sacking Amorim was a horrible, horrible choice by the board. I think the problem is Ruben Amorim was either going to get sacked or Ruben Amorim was going to resign. I think you had 1 or 2 options. Either Ruben was going to go or Ruben was going to get sacked. They had so many choices. And I think obviously with the comments he made yesterday and the fight that he had with Jason Wilcox on Friday, and the decision was made there and then, they should have just come out on Friday and said Ruben was gone. They should have just come out on Friday and said we've sacked the manager and we need to get an interim in. He had to go, says Dan. He should have been gone a long time ago, says Ethan. He started to feel the pressure, says Chris. He's gone. We move on. The board are an incompetent joke. Luis Enrique or Eddie Howe, but the board won't go anywhere near them because we want puppets. Exactly. They want puppets. Too sad. Just replying to this message quickly. It's just embarrassing. It's massively embarrassing. He started to feel the pressure of the board and competent Luis Enrique or Eddie Howe, but the board won't go anywhere near them because they want puppets. No, I'm glad he is gone. His Man United are rubbish. Darren Fletcher's our interim. Luis Enrique would not take the job. Eddie Howe would be stupid to leave Newcastle. Let them have their puppet, and if it goes wrong, then they're to blame. They wanted Ruben to be a yes man. I'm glad he had to say, where you see how much the top are a mess. Why did they sack him? Who or the top drawer is going to want to come and be treated like the last 8 managers? Ineos aren't leaving anytime soon either. No, why can't we be for nothing? Exactly. The whole football club's in a mess again today. We're on manager number 11 inside 13 years. I can't believe they've given it to Darren Fletcher. I really, really cannot believe they've given it to Darren Fletcher. That's nothing more than pure and utter incompetence. If you were going to sack Amorim, you should have had someone lined up to come in. If you wanted a new coach and a new manager, you should have had somebody lined up. And to give it to Fletcher, who's obviously had his health problems in the past, is an utter shambles. And I feel sorry for Darren Fletcher. I feel sorry for Darren Fletcher a lot because he's been through a lot in his personal life. And now his sons are in the midst of this because they've been on the bench for God knows how many games in the last few matches. And now his sons have got to go through this. Like, I feel sorry for the youngsters. I feel sorry for players like Mbeumo. I feel sorry for Matthias Cunha. I feel sorry for Lemens. And I feel sorry for Sesko because all 4 players were brought under Amorim. All 4 of them were brought under Amorim's ownership as manager. And all 4 of them are probably looking at the situation now. Yeah? It's just an utter shit show. It really, really is. Protests are needed, said Ali. Oliver Glasner might replace Amorim for what I saw online. Reckon he'll be playing his son's lot now, considering he has an interim too. Ferguson would probably be laughing at the state of Manchester United. Didn't mean that you are correct. It needs to be every week, and all 4 will continue to play. None of them 4 players will excel without Amorim. The problem is, no matter what coach you bring in, no matter what manager we go for, they're not going to be able to get us back anywhere where we need to be. You can bring in Glasner, you can bring Enrique in, you can bring in Eddie Howe, you could bring in Nagelsmann, you could bring in Conte, you can bring in any manager you like. You can bring any coach, any manager you like. But the problem is, you've got to deal with Ineos. They want a yes man. They want a puppet on strings who they can dictate to. And the problem is, Emery won't get on with the United board. Conte won't get on with the United board. We know that. So they won't go anywhere near Conte. They won't go anywhere near Emery. They won't go anywhere. I don't think they'll go anywhere near Enrique because Enrique will look at the state of that squad, seeing it needs 500-600 million being spent, which I've said time and time again that squad is nowhere near good enough. We only had second chance and by Adam Wharton, Orko, please, Juventus, Aldi's, Van Nistelrooy interim until the end of the season. That isn't happening. Not even Klopp could save you. It's the same with Chelsea. All these top managers will not want the United job. It's a mess. I genuinely believe Enzo Maresca will help us. There's actually more out there still thinking a different manager will fit. Exactly. I don't think any manager out here, right now, is going to want the Man United job because they're going to look at the squad. They're going to look at the state of the Glazers. They're going to look at the way Ineos are running the club. They're going to be running a mile, and they'll be running a mile in the opposite direction. They're going to be running a mile. Who's going to want to come here? Who's going to want to manage us? The club's an utter shit show again. We're potentially going to go 2 seasons in a row without European football. The only hope we've got is trying to go and seriously take the FA Cup. Seriously. That's the only trophy we can go for, which I don't even think can happen now. Because the problem is, there'll be a new manager bounce because Player FC has won. Don't be surprised if we go on a long, stupid, unbeaten run now. We go and win 5, 6, 7 games in a row. There will be a new manager bounce and everyone will start performing. Players will start returning from injury. There will be a new manager bounce now Amorim's gone. But the problem is, I thought Amorim, I hold my hands up, I thought Amorim would be the guy to take us back to the top. I hold my hands up. I thought he was going to be that guy to actually get us playing better football and changing to a brand new formation and a brand new setup was going to work. But obviously, they didn't like the formation. They don't like the way Amorim was setting us up to play. And it was the new direction he wanted to take the club in. But apparently, Amorim has been lied to. He wanted to be the manager, not the coach, and Manchester United wouldn't give him that control. So what that meant for Amorim is he wasn't allowed to make decisions on transfers, he wasn't allowed to make decisions on players he wanted, and he wasn't allowed to basically get rid of who he wanted. And that's the problem. That's the problem. The Glazers are and Ineos are controlling every single section of this football club. They're not letting a manager make any type of decision to take us back where we need to be. Because if you look at that squad, how many players need to be got rid of? How many players in that squad need to be gone? How many of these players have got previous managers sacked before? Like Bruno's got another manager sacked, Casemiro's got another manager sacked, Delo's got another manager sacked, Luke Shaw's got another manager sacked, Agate's got another manager sacked. Like, look how many managers these players have gone through. A lot of these players are to blame for the responsibility of the results and the performances because those players have not been performing. I think we basically gave up after Brentford. When we got hammered by Brentford, I think we basically gave up. Let's be real though. Position-wise, he gave us a massive 15th to 5th. Need Glazers and out, debt sorted, that's the problem. A lot of our results are not good enough though. Will you miss Amorim? I think I'll miss Amorim because when we appointed him, I was really, really excited because it was a new manager, it was a new direction, it was a new way of playing, a new formation, a new style of play, a new setup, something different, something new. But obviously, the cracks were appearing. I think what they should have done after that Europa League final embarrassment, they should have just sacked him there and then. After losing that Europa League final, there was only one direction this club was going, and it was going down. They should have just sacked him there and then. Fletcher will pick both of his boys now. Don't be surprised if that happens. Watch Fletcher put both of his sons in the first team because we haven't got any players left. And the problem is with Darren Fletcher, there's no Bruno, there's no Mainu, there's no Mount, there's no Maguire, there's no De Ligt, there's no Ahmad, there's no Mbeumo, there's no Mazraoui. Like, you've still got the same squad. You've still got the same players that have got a manager sacked. If that happens, then we will be so exposed in areas of the pitch. Sam Allardyce en route. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if we all of a sudden start winning games under Fletcher. And the problem is, the players will then back Fletcher. The players will then want Fletcher getting the job because then they'll just turn on Darren Fletcher when that goes wrong. We're pushing for Europe, so he can't risk playing too many of the kids. Completely agree with that. They'll start pushing for Fletcher. Yeah, they have actually sacked Ruben Amorim. He got sacked this morning, so we're doing a reaction to it now. So it is embarrassing. It's massively embarrassing. Odds that Jack and Tyler Fletcher start the next game. You have no ball knowledge. I don't have any ball knowledge, Anthony. I've seen Manchester United sack 10 managers in the last 13 years, and we're on manager number 11 in 13 years. I don't have any ball knowledge. I've watched 10 other managers get sacked by this club because of the incompetence that's going on. We've got £800 million worth of debt. We've got a stadium that's falling to pieces. Are you glad Amorim's gone? When Ollie was interim manager, he got the full-time job. What are your thoughts about Darren Fletcher being the interim manager? What are your thoughts? I respect that, but they couldn't sack Eric when he couldn't win, but they sack Amorim, he's got a 6th place. I think the reason why Amorim has been sacked, shocking owners, exactly. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow on TikTok. The reason they've sacked Amorim is because of the comments he made yesterday. When he went in on the board, when he went in on Barada and Wilcox, basically saying, you're not backing me, back me or sack me. That was basically a sign of, I want to be the manager. And as soon as Wilcox, Barada and Sir Jim saw that, they only had one decision, and that was to sack the manager. They don't want a manager or a coach having full control. That's the big problem we've got. They're not letting managers have full authority on the squad. They're not having full authority on the transfer window. They're not having full authority on what players are brought in and what players are sold. They're not being given that control. The owners, Sir Jim, Barada and Wilcox, are now interfering in the team selection. They're interfering on the way we play, and they're interfering on the way we're set up. I mean, I don't know who they think they are as owners or a board, and I don't know who Sir Jim thinks he is or Omar Barado thinks he is, and I don't even think Jason Wilcox. I don't understand who they think they are. They've got no ball knowledge of football. They've never managed a football club in their life, and you're telling me they're picking the formation, they're picking the setup, they're picking the way we play. Who the fuck do they think they are? What have they actually done in football? What have they actually done? What have they actually done? They're interfering on the managers' and the coaches' plans. Manchester United needs to change from top to bottom. Exactly. The whole football club is rotten to the core. The whole football club is rotten to the core. Soon as Ineos got into bed with the Glazers, that is where it was going to go wrong. And I called it. United have been playing their best football in Amorim in years, despite where they are. Darren Fletcher is going to make his son starters, probably. There's no point in having a manager then. Exactly. If they're not going to allow a manager to make authorities and make decisions on where we go as a club, then there's no point carrying on. The club might as well fold. The club might as well just go out of business, and it will give everyone pressure and stress off their shoulders. I'd rather the club just go bust now. I'd rather the club just liquidate. I would rather this club was no longer around, because it would take so much stress and pressure off my shoulders, and I think it would do the fan base a world of good. I think it actually would. If this football club wasn't around anymore, I don't think people would miss it. Amorim played a Ronaldo card, knew what he was doing, absolutely hats off to him. Apparently Darren is going to be the man. Yeah, Darren Fletcher's in charge till the end of the season. Darren Fletcher is in charge till the end of the season. But I don't see anything changing. I don't think there'll be any improvement. Anytime soon. I actually don't see any improvement. I don't think the results will change. I don't think the performances are going to get any better. I think Manchester United are on a downward spiral now, and I think the season will just cave in. Now. There'll be utterly no point of carrying on, because are the results going to improve? Are the performances going to get any better? Is he going to pick the same players that have got yet again another manager sat? That's the biggest problem. The problem is you've got to pay Amorim off. You've got to sack all his coaches and get rid of all them. The problem is they are going to have to get rid of so many people at this club. The club, they shouldn't bother. Has the coaching staff gone as well? Yeah, all the coaching staff have been sacked as well. They should sign Graham Potter. No, thank you. I don't know how to express my deep hate for this football club right now. I'm embarrassed. It's a massive, massive L. I didn't expect the decision to be made this quick. I thought there would be a meeting, which there clearly was. I thought there'd be a solution to all these problems. There should have been a meeting where, do you know what? We need to back this manager. We'll give him money in January and we'll give him signings. And the problem is they didn't want to do it. Soon as the Semenyo deal fell through, Man United then took that money away from Amorim. And that's the reason I feel sorry for him. Because clearly the midfield was getting walked through. The defence is crumbling more than a fucking biscuit. And we've got a non-existent attack. But people will blame the injuries. People will blame AFCON. Blame and make excuses as much as people want. We can't be making excuses for this football club to be getting out of this today. Player power definitely played a part. Yeah, exactly. Player power definitely played a part in this today. And unfortunately, that player power has won. That player power has got another manager sacked. Amorim is gone. We're on Darren Fletcher, coach number 11. No point sacking a manager when no one else is coming in. No chance no one will come to United as the whole team is rubbish. The next manager is brave to join us. Oliver Glasner is in talks of United, I see. Where do we go from here? Seriously. Well, apparently Oliver Glasner is the favourite. Apparently the Crystal Palace manager, Oliver Glasner, is the favourite to succeed Ruben Amorim as the next Manchester United manager. But the problem is, if you go and get Glasner, is that the solution? Is that really the solution to all of this? And apparently, any appointment from Ineos is like to be a head coach, not a manager. So again, we're being told again, the next person who's coming in will not be allowed to be a manager. It's going to be a coach. So what's the point? A staff at Carrington today was surprised to see Ruben Amorim's coach and staff leave the training ground laughing and joking. What the hell? They apparently, Amorim, yeah, Oliver Glasner is very interested in the United vacancy if they make an approach. So apparently it looks like they've already got a manager lined up, but it won't be a manager, it will be a coach. So again, that new manager or coach will not be allowed to make decisions. I can see why Anton Semenyo didn't come to United, as they are rubbish. The least, but that's not the right option, no way. I don't, like I just said then, if they go for Glasner, Glazer might be walking into a Glasner might be walking into a death trap. Exactly. Oliver Glasner won't be able to fix this. If we go for Oliver Glasner, the only reason they're going for him is because he's not renewing his contract at Palace. That's the only reason they're going for him. I've heard Fletcher till the end of the season from Austin, which we need better considering we are... Exactly. We need better than Darren Fletcher. But apparently Darren Fletcher's only got the Burnley and Brighton games, and then they're bringing in another coach, an interim, to get us till the end. And it looks like United have already got another coach lined up. It won't be a manager, it will be a coach. So Oliver Glasner will not be allowed to make decisions on transfers. He won't be allowed to make decisions on players. He won't be allowed to control the transfer window. So what is the point of him coming in? He's basically walking into a death trap. He's basically walking into a big fucking hole in the middle of the ground, and he's going to fall into the hole. It's utterly embarrassing. Ollie wouldn't be bad interim till the end of the season. How we need better than him long term. Looks really weird. Fletcher till the end of the season. Glasner on a free in June. It's just massively embarrassing. Like, I didn't want to be sat here reacting to another manager getting sacked, but I called it last night. And yet again I've been proved right. And again, I think it was coming. I didn't like the way Amorim set us up. I didn't like the formation. I didn't like the 3-4-3. I didn't like the football we were playing. So a decision had to be made. Is this the correct one? Is it the wrong one? And thank you for all the likes and mash out to all my moderators in the live chat, by the way, absolute legends. I am embarrassed. Like, I'm massively embarrassed because I wanted Amorim to succeed. I wanted this to work. We still play 3-4-3, whatever Amorim is in charge or not. And thank you for moderators for actually looking after the live chat as well. If you want to block people, just block them as well. Just do. Honestly, I've given you full authority. If there's moderators in a live chat, if you need to block people, just block them because it's fucking hilarious. It's actually embarrassing. United board is honestly a joke. It is a joke. The whole board from top to bottom is a joke. Please take the head coach at Anfield. I don't know what coach or what manager we're going to go for, but it looks like it's going to be the Crystal Palace manager. It looks like it's going to be the Crystal Palace coach, which I'm embarrassed by because Oliver Glasner will not be allowed to make decisions, which is embarrassing. I am embarrassed. Like, I'm massively embarrassed because I really wanted Amorim to work. And it hasn't worked, has it? And I'm just embarrassed by the fact that we have sacked another manager. I think the sack was inevitable at weird times to sack him. He wouldn't be able to cope with the pressure. What difference is a new manager going to make? Exactly, says Amy. Completely agree. Weird thing is that the manager isn't allowed to make decisions in the transfer window. Exactly. Whoever comes to replace Amorim won't last. Exactly. Completely agree with Lois there. Completely agree. True, says Terox, exactly, but why was he sacked? Well, apparently the reason why Amorim was sacked because he made the comments he made last night. He wanted to be a manager, not a coach, and apparently that promise was broken, and apparently a load of promises were made for this January transfer window, and those promises have been broken, and he's basically been lied to. Why are you embarrassed at a 30% win rate? Because Ineos appointed Amorim. Ineos, Sir Jim, Ratcliffe, Sir Jim, Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox were all part of the process to appoint Amorim as a new manager, as our new coach. Jason Wilcox was part of that problem. Wilcox is now a problem. Barada is now a problem. Sir Jim is a massive issue. Apparently he was about to be sacked even before the Leeds. Exactly. Kai's made a great point. The decision on Friday was made to sack Amorim. The decision was made on Friday. The worrying thing is if we sack because of the press conference, not the result. Exactly. I think it's down to the comments he made yesterday. It's down to the comments and he's not getting backed in January and he got pissed off with it. Instead of sacking Amorim, it's better to sack some of the players who don't deserve to play. Exactly. Completely agree with that as well. And if you look at that United squad, and this is the statement that United have released. We'll release the statement and see what United have said. So I don't care about the United shop. I'm not spending money. I'm not stupid. So Ruben Amorim has departed his role as head coach of Manchester United. Ruben was appointed in November 24 and led the team to Europa League final at Bilbao in May. With Man United sitting 6th in the Prem, the club's leadership has reluctantly made the decision that it's the right time to make a change. This will give the team the best opportunity for the highest possible Premier League finish. The club would like to thank Ruben for his contribution to the club and wishes him well for the future. Darren Fletcher will take charge of the team against Burnley on Wednesday. So that's the statement that Manchester United have released. That's the statement that Manchester United have just released on Ruben Amorim. That's the club statement. What do we think of that statement? It's definitely nothing to do with it. It was already coming, says Michael. I am on his side. Jim Ratcliffe doesn't care about football as long as his money's going in his pocket. Maresca comes to United, says it's _Alex. Are they going to continue with Amorim's transfer window? Our next 5 games are loss. He isn't the one with the twins on the team. He had won twice as many games and he wouldn't have been sacked. It's that simple. It's just embarrassing. Like, apparently the sacking will cost between 25 and 30 million, which I'm not surprised. So that will come out of the January transfer budget. Another manager sacked for speaking the truth. Exactly, it is the board. The biggest problem are the Glazers. The biggest problem are Ineos. The biggest problem is Sir Jim, Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox. I want all of them gone now because they are the biggest problem at this football club. They are the biggest problem at this football club. When Amorim spoke the truth, like me, a lot of United fans speak the truth. A lot of fans tell the truth and call it for how it is, right? A lot of people don't like the truth. A lot of people don't like the honesty in life, and when you tell them the truth or you're honest about something, they don't fucking like it. The problem is, Amorim told the truth. Amorim basically said, I'm not getting backed in January, the board's a load of shit, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox won't give me any money, and I wanted Semenyo, they didn't get him, and I'm basically left with a fucking depleted squad full of basic, average footballers who don't give a fuck, who don't perform, who don't play as a team. And we've got owners that have got United in £800 million worth of debt. We've got a stadium that's falling into pieces more than a fucking jigsaw puzzle. We can't even buy the land to put the new stadium on. Who will replace Ruben? I have got no idea who's going to replace Amorim, but it looks like Oliver Glasner's the favourite. It looks like Oliver Glasner is the favourite. I could feel his frustration in that interview from just watching it. Whoever Manchester United bring in, they won't last, says Lois. Exactly. No matter what coach or manager you bring in, it's not going to last. And if they do bring Glasner, it's going to be a coach. It's not going to be a manager. So again, Glasner will not be allowed to make any decisions. It will be Sir Jim, Glazers, Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox. They're going to be making decisions for him. What the fuck? Okay, I was wondering what was happening then. What the hell? It's right, I'm all good. I've had a bit of a mind blip then. It's alright, it's all good. I had a bit of a bloody mind blip, everybody. The good players we do have, half are out because of injury and half are in that out of a cup. They want a yes man, says Darth Vader 5994. Exactly. They're looking for a yes man. Could you imagine if Emery walked in? Could you imagine if Conte walked in? Could you imagine if Maresca walked in? Could you imagine the conflict between Barada and all them? Could you imagine the conflict between Sir Jim and all of them? Could you imagine the conflict? Could you imagine the shit that those managers would have to go through because they wanted to be yes men? Enzo won't touch it with a barge ball. He wasn't allowed to manage at Chelsea. Who do you want to replace him? Amorim's the best manager we've had in years. He just hasn't been given the... Exactly. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow. Maresca walked just like he did at Chelsea. Honestly, I can see Southgate come in. Well, the favourite looks like it's going to be Glasner. It looks like the favourite is going to be Oliver Glasner. But why are we in this position? Well, if you look at last summer, he wanted Belieber and Manchester United didn't go and get him. Amorim pointed out that the midfield was a major issue and United didn't sort it. Why didn't they sort that midfield out last summer? They saw it was a gaping hole. But they decided to keep Bruno Fernandes, who United could have got 100 million for. And Bruno might want to go now. Bruno might want to go. Delot might want to go. Because obviously they're both two Portuguese players. And both will probably think, well, what's the point? We might as well get ourselves out of this situation and go to another club in the summer or try and get a January move. That might happen now. But it's just a shambles. Delot needs to go. Bruno's a crybaby. And then they told us in January for nothing to happen now at all. Exactly. Southgate's just another yes man. The manager wants to manage and they sack him. Exactly. The whole club's just a mess from top to bottom. They didn't sort out the summer last summer very well, did they? They didn't sort out that summer transfer window very well. He wanted Belieber. They didn't go and get him. We've been linked with Elliot Anderson. They've been linked with Adam Wharton. Do you think Anderson or Wharton are going to come to United in the summer knowing the situation it is now? Can you imagine what the summer transfer window is going to look like now? Can you imagine all the targets we've been looking at? They're not going to come anywhere near. They're not going to come anywhere near us now. They won't want to come to Man United. Look at the mess they're in. It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Who do you want to replace him? I don't know, Ollie. I've got no clue who I want. Called passion for United to do well, and the only one doing it. Spend another 200 million, says David _Granger 1. It's just mate, how the hell did United spend millions during the summer? It's all a mess, says the Windows son. Exactly. The whole thing's an utter mess. And people say, oh, they spent 200 million last summer. What are you lot complaining at? 200 million wasn't enough. We need to spend at least $500 million on that squad. We need to spend at least $500 million. People can see it. There's gaping holes in that team. That team's got more holes than a fucking piece of Wallace's cheese from Wallace and Gromit. Like, the team's got more holes than a fucking piece of cheese. It's embarrassing how many holes that team has got. More holes than a piece of cheese. The midfield was a gaping issue in the summer. United didn't address it. He wanted Belieber and they didn't go and get him. He wanted Elliot Anderson. They didn't go and get him. He wanted Adam Wharton. They didn't go and get him. Why did you neglect the midfield last summer where you could have sold Bruno Fernandes? You could have sold Bruno and had 100 million right there, right now, and gone and got him. Gone and got a complete midfield rebuild. They wanted Conor Gallagher last summer. They didn't go and get him. They tried on transfer deadline day to do a loan deal. Like, how embarrassing must that be? You tried to do a loan deal for Conor Gallagher. A loan deal. Like, how embarrassing must that be as a fan base? We tried to get Conor Gallagher on loan. Exactly, we spent too much on the forwards. But that's no excuse though, my friend. That's no excuse. If you want to back a manager, you have to give him an open war chest. You give him as much money as possible to improve that team. You look how many United players in that team right here, right now. You look how many players they are. Just embarrassed. I'm just embarrassed. Areola's being linked with a job now too, and Maresca. Ollie in, says Harry. They knew the midfield was an issue. Why didn't they just say to Amorim, we're selling Bruno Fernandes if you like it or lump it? Because if you want a midfield rebuild, there's 100 million right there to go and get some new midfielders. Why didn't they go and get it? Do you think Ineos actually think change of manager will improve anything? Exactly. I don't think they do. Now Garnacho is like in the post when Amorim got sacked. It's just embarrassing. Like, it's massively embarrassing. I wouldn't have got Sesko and bought midfielders for that. Casemiro needs to go. I will tell you how many United players need to go. I will tell you how many United players, and I'll go through every single player that needs to be kicked out this door. Because I'll tell you what, enough's enough of Mr. Nice Guy. Enough's a fucking enough of this. I'm done with these players. The player power has won. Player power has won today. That's what I'm pissed off with. Player power's won. Do you think a new manager might be making of Mount? No, because Mason Mount's injury prone. Ratcliffe is worse than the Glazers. Ronaldo would be laughing at you. Everyone... Ratcliffe's worse than Garnacho was always a knob, to be fair. I feel like Sesko needs to go. Player power, what they like, damn. Yeah, So I'll tell you what needs to go. And the problem is, I wanted a full takeover. I wanted a full sale. I didn't want Sir Jim brought in. I didn't want Ineos anywhere near. When they brought this minority stake, I honestly thought, all right, what's the plan? What's the structure? What's the ambition? There's been no ambition from minute one. There has been no ambition. There's been no plan. There's been no structure. There's been no plan. There's been no plan at all to fix this club. There's been no plan whatsoever to fix this football club. There has been no plan. There's been no structure. Ineos have walked into a sinking ship, and that ship is sinking even further and further into the abyss. It's embarrassing. What was the plan? What's the model? Like, if you're going to back the manager, give him some fucking signings and give him some players. And you didn't want to do it in the whole of January. What mugs must Amorim be? Amorim must feel like a mug. Amorim has been basically mugged in the middle of your local high street. Now United will fall to the bottom half of the table, says Darren Shaw. Ineos have walked into a mess and they've made that mess worse. They have made the situation a crisis now. We're in fucking crisis again because we've sacked our manager. We're a laughingstock of the world this morning on Monday the 5th of January. We're a fucking laughingstock again. Like, if you look at the current United squad, right, Binder needs to go, Tom Heaton needs to go, Onana needs to go, Delot needs to go, Maguire needs to go, Malacia needs to go, Dorgu needs to go, Shaw needs to go, so that's 8. Tyler Fredrickson, so that's 9. Diego Leon, that's 10. Harry Amas, that's 11. Mount, Fernandez, Casemiro, Agate, Collier, Dan Gore, Rasmus, Xerxes, Sesko, Wheatley, Rashford, Sancho. That's 23 players that need removing from this football club. 23 fucking players need to be removed from this football club. There's 23 players at that football club that should not be here. And the problem is, right, this is going to rub the hands of Sancho. This is going to rub the hands of Rashford. This is going to rub the hands of Rasmus. Watch all of them come back. Watch all of them come back and they all get given a chance again. All of them might now have an opportunity to get back at United. All of them might get an opportunity now. We don't realise how bad this makes us look. Going down, man. You know, we sacked Amorim and now we've got an academy coach, Bruno Bad, so over. It's not cool dramatic, mate. It's called telling the fucking truth. If people don't like the truth, if people don't like the honesty, don't watch. I'm telling the truth. There's 23 players in there that United need to shift. A lot of them have got managers sacked. Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ollie, Carrick, Ragnick, Ten Hag, Amorim. Like, how many more managers are these players going to get sacked? How many more managers are going to get sacked because of player power? How many more? We've got... This list is getting bigger more than your fucking shopping list. It's embarrassing. Like, you've got players here that have won again. Delot is shit, and so is Bruno. Bruno is a crybaby. Delot is fucking wank. Up the Villa, says Toby. I'm a Leeds fan, but I feel bad for you a lot because you have a terrible manager taking over. What? There is player power, mate. Half them players are new and haven't played with all them new managers. How do you think the best midfielder in the world, Bruno Fernandes, should leave? You put Bruno in there. Are you for real? Agreed with most of the others. Bruno is not shit. But Bruno is approaching 31 years of age. He should be off to Saudi by now. We should have sold Bruno in the summer and rebuilt that midfield. The club said no, and so did Amorim. They wanted Bruno to stay. We could have rebuilt that midfield. Amorim knew we needed midfielders and the club ignored it. Even though you kept Bruno, we should have still gone and brought midfielders. You have a good midfield because of Bruno, are you? No, we don't have a good midfield. We don't have a good midfield. Our midfield is wank. Agate is crap. Casemiro is crap. Fernandez is a crybaby. Mainu doesn't get a fucking look in. Mount is injury prone. Don't you lot realise we've only got one decent midfielder in there? Don't you lot realise? On Sesko, to be honest, Xerxes good to come off the bench though. No. Xerxes crap. He provided one good assist and everyone waxed lyrical over it. Exactly. Mark has just said Bruno is overrated. Completely agree. Rebuild to what though? Why sell one of the best men from the league to rebuild better than Sesko? Xerxes is not better than Sesko. Who is the other midfielder in your opinions then? You rebuild around Bruno? No. Xerxes is bad. Sesko is rubbish. Exactly. And Amorim didn't even want Sesko, by the way. He didn't even want Sesko. He wanted Ollie Watkins. Why was the manager ignored? He didn't even want Sesko. He wanted Ollie Watkins. Why didn't they go and get Ollie Watkins out of Villa? He wanted Watkins. Why didn't they do it? No, he didn't want just Kuhn Bremer. He wanted Watkins as well. It came out last night. He didn't want Sesko. Exactly. Sesko is not an upgrade, and nor was Rasmus. Sesko and Rasmus are in exactly the same category. Both of them are shit. Bruno over the Hull 4 manager with him and still can't play, gives the ball away too much. Exactly. Bruno has got 4 managers sat now. Casemiro has an attitude problem for me, needs to go. We wanted Watkins, Gokres linked to Etikite, Delap, and we went with Sesko. Exactly. He wanted Ollie Watkins. The club should have listened. The club and the player he wanted was Ollie Watkins. That was the striker that Amorim wanted. Exactly. Sesko is a project. There's too many learner drivers in this team. He didn't even want Dorgu, and the club still went out there and did it. The board are at fault here. They've given him players he didn't fucking want. Amorim called out the board because half this team is a load of dog shit, but people in some sections of this fan base protect the players and live up their crack. It's embarrassing. I want Barada gone. I want Wilcox gone. I want the Glazers gone. And I want Ineos gone. I want this club to be bled dry of every fucking penny. Now, the board is terrible. Exactly. The club's a mess. We've sacked another manager. We're on our 11th coach in 13 fucking years. I agree with the learner driver comment, but that's been going on for a while to build a project. To be fair, a draw to an on-form lead isn't. No, it's not. I'm not celebrating the draw. I'm not celebrating a point. So you prefer we kept Amorim with his stubborn tactics. I felt sorry for Amorim because the board haven't backed him. They gave him 200 million in the summer. That wasn't enough. Spending 200 million did fuck all. And they said they had money to spend in January. They were going to go and get Semenyo, and now they backed off and he went to City. What backing's that? There was 65 million for Semenyo, and then basically said to Amorim, we're not doing anything else because we couldn't get you Semenyo. What backing's that? Amorim has been sacked because he called out the board, because he called out the owners. I feel sorry for him in that aspect, but the football we were playing was dreadful. The tactics were atrocious, and the formation was never going to work. And fancy going for a manager who was managing Sporting in the Portuguese league when you basically only have Porto, Benfica and Sporting as the best 3 teams in that league. What on earth were we thinking? What were we thinking bringing a manager in? We should have went with Premier League experience, and the club didn't do it. You cannot blame Bruno as the reason we score goals most of the time. Bruno is too toxic. You should have kept Rashford. No, we shouldn't have kept Rashford. Rashford is shit. You should have adapted the tactics if his tactics are not working. I would love Emery, but it wouldn't. Exactly. We won't get Emery because Emery won't be allowed to be a dictator. They won't go for Conte because Conte won't be allowed to be a dictator. They won't go for Enrique because he won't be allowed to be a dictator. Those managers won't be given control. They're going to go for a yes man. So it will be Carrick. It might be McKenna. But it looks like it's going to be Oliver Glasner. Because that's United who they're lining up. They're lining up Oliver Glasner. Sporting with Amorim destroyed City to even know what you're saying. But he was managing in the Portuguese league, mate. He was managing Portuguese bullshit. So hard finding much to agree with you here, to be honest. Yeah, but Farke was managing Championship side, now he's doing well in the Prem. Bruno's ball retention is terrible. Plus, why would Emery leave Villa when he has them? Exactly. We're not going to get Emery. We're not going to get Conte. They won't get Enrique. Nagelsmann, look, I personally want two managers. I want Nagelsmann or I want Enrique. We're not going to get Emery. We're not getting Conte. We need to scrap that. That ain't going to happen. Southgate in the summer. Don't even get me started if we go for Southgate. Don't even get me started if we go for Southgate. That's just ridiculous. I don't want Southgate anywhere near. Amorim football was awful. He deserved the sack. I want Nagelsmann or Enrique. Kieran McKenna says, Patrick, I beg for Ollie. Play for the badge, not for the pay packet. Need a manager that will not take the word shit. Exactly. But they won't do it. They won't do it. That club has got no ambition. That club has got no ambition. They haven't got any ambition. We did need a goal scorer. They went for Sesko. Amorim has been thrown under the bus. Completely agree. Amorim has been thrown under the bus. Because he called out Ineos, he called out Sir Jim, he called out Omar Barada, he called out Wilcox, and they didn't like it. They shat the bed, basically. They had the shits. They basically shat themselves because they called out how incompetent they are. Glazers needs to go. He was found out and he wasn't tactically smart enough. 180 million pounds in debt. We're actually 800 million pounds in debt. We're over 800 million pounds in debt. It's nearly at $1 billion. Totally agree. We are a very toxic fan base. Owners out. Looks like we've got Fletcher managing us. Yeah, Fletcher's got the job for Burnley and Brighton. Bring in Harry Kane, replace the owners and management, give the new manager the role of manager. Exactly, but they don't want to do it. They've already come and said Ineos do not want to give the manager title to a new manager. They want it to be a coach so they can dictate to him, so they can be a puppet on the screen. On strings. We keep on blabbing. No, we're not keeping on blabbing. We're talking about Amorim being sacked. We're telling the truth. We're calling it out for what it is. The owners didn't pick a tried and tested because they wanted a yes man. The glory days were on the way as well. No, they weren't. The glory days weren't coming back. We need Xavi from Barcelona to be, no, I don't want Xavi. If you're $1 billion debt, why would you stay? It's like they want us to crumble. What do you think about Tuchel? Tuchel won't leave the England job. We can't keep buying strikers season after season. What the fuck is he sacked? Yes, he is. We need Tuchel in. Who would you want to? We need Ollie all the way. They won't do that. They are only there for the money. That's the only thing that matters to them. Exactly. They're only there for the money. So Jim doesn't have a clue about football. Nor does Omar Barada. Nor does Jason Wilcox. What have they actually done? Have they ever managed a football team? Have they ever coached professionally in their life? They're dictating the way we want to play. They're dictating the way they want the manager to set the team up. They're dictating about the formation they want United to use. What gives them the right? What gives them the right to do that? What gives them the right? I'm sorry. What gives them the right to dictate the way we play? What gives them the right to say, do you know what? You're going to play like that if you like it or lump it. No, I'm the coach. I'm the manager. I will do what I want. I don't want it to be a yes man. I don't want the next manager to be a yes man where the owners and the board can dictate to them. The problem, what we need to do now, we need to protest. We need to protest, get games called off, get games abandoned. That's the only way we make our voice heard now. After this, the club is in a mess. Exactly. Right, hear me out. Give Aaron the Portugal jobs. It'd be so good. Only because he spoke up. They sacked him. Same situation like Chelsea. That's the problem with footy these days. The board runs the team. It's sad. Being an 84-year-old Fergie, Maresca and Amorim spoke up and they both got sacked. That will not do shit. They love that. Look at where the French football team is that Ratcliffe owns. Exactly. We must right step up now. Amorim was the reason Bruno stayed, and now with him gone, Bruno would have had enough to bring in Cesc Fabregas. It looks like it's going to be Oliver Glasner. His arrogance and stubbornness cost him his job. His refusal to change cost him. I think he should have changed the formation. I think he should have changed the setup. But why should he? Why should Amorim have to change because the owners wanted him to? Why should have he had to have changed? Why should have he had to be dictated to? The Glazers and Ineos remind me of fucking Hitler. They're fucking dictators. They remind me of Adolf Hitler. They're basically dictators. Exactly. Arrogance for exposing. Garnacho, like the post of Amorim was sat. Looks like Ahmad won't play now because it wasn't working, says bomber Mark Wilkinson. Man United board is a disgrace. Completely agree. Because it wasn't working, Stevie Wonder could see. Even Stevie Wonder could see that. That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Even Stevie Wonder could see it wasn't fucking working. That is fucking quality. Formation was never the issue. Players not following the instruction was. Glazers need to sell up, and Ineos are just puppets for the Glazers. Kobe might actually play now. Then they sack him. Exactly. No matter what we do now, no matter what coach, what manager you bring in, it's never going to change. It will never change. Nothing will happen. If it was to sack him, it would be in the final of last season. Most of the team are out injured or in AFCON. We can't keep using injuries in AFCON as an excuse. We can never do that. We can't keep using an excuse for this club to find a way out. I felt he changed to show he doesn't have the quality of player to play his way. It was a message. Ahmad is going to be benched unless we play a 4-4-2. It's another puppet now. Your transfers have improved. No, they haven't. Wasn't you the one who wanted Amorim out? United on the new Watford of managers, whoever is appointed. Exactly. No matter who's appointed now, you're not going to be able to do much because you're going to be a puppet on their strings again. You are basically going to be a puppet. You're going to be a puppet on their strings. AFCON is a valid excuse considering they are three best players. As long as the manager isn't Gareth Southgate, we need AFCON. We knew AFCON existed, yet we still signed Africans, so can't use that as an excuse. Exactly. Ratcliffe knows nothing about football. Was you Amorim out? I was Amorim out after Brentford. I was Amorim out after yesterday. Protest, keep protesting. Ineos out, Glazers out. As soon as I heard Ruben was leaving Suits Bolton, I was happy for him now. I just feel sorry for him. They wasted his time. At least it's not Slot. What would you do as a fan? What we need to do is get games called off, games abandoned. Don't spend any money on that football club. Get games called off, get games abandoned, storm the pitch. Just do anything we can as a fan base to unite as one to get a message out that enough's enough now. We had an opportunity to remove them when they were going to put us in that European Super League. Why didn't we do it? Why didn't we do it? Today it broke me. I literally felt like crying. Sacking Amorim on my birthday was building something special. Happy birthday, Farley, by the way. Happy birthday. I'm sorry this sacking hasn't, but I hope you have a good rest of your birthday, mate. Don't worry about this lot. Don't worry about United. They're just a fucking shit show, my friend. Makuna, Mbemo, Kuna, Dorgu, Heaven, Yora are all very good players that can improve. It's better than Woodward. Any thoughts on coming in? Any thoughts on who's coming in after? I don't know. But we need to storm the pitch. We need to get games called off. We need to get games abandoned because this can't keep carrying on. This cannot keep carrying on now. It's just a fucking shit show. We can't keep sacking the manager. We can't keep repeating the cycle. The board, the owners and Ineos and the Glazers are responsible. They're responsible for this. United is a graveyard for top managers. Exactly. We need to, if you want to storm the pitch, we need to do something. Maresca will come to us. No, we won't. We're not looking at Maresca. We're giving it to Fletcher till the end of the season, it looks like. And then we'll get another manager in at the end of the season. We're on our 12th, 11th manager in 13 years. 11 managers in 13 years since Fergie fucked off. 11 managers in 13 years. It's nothing more than a shit show. The Glazers would appoint a blind man and consider it great business and cost effective. Surely Glasner joins the end of the season. Give it Giggsy until the end. Literally illegal to storm a pitch. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what United think anymore. I don't really give a fuck what Manchester United think anymore. I've stopped caring. Because at the end of the day, not enough's being done to remove these owners. The club and the fans keep going to every home game. Fans and supporters keep going to every away game. There's never any plans to get any games abandoned or called off. Nothing's being done. This fan base won't do anything. A lot of you fans are lazy. A lot of fans are lazy. They don't want to do anything. You have to do something now. I'd love to see the new owners alongside our most successful players in Wilcox and Barada's role. We need Ollie. We're not getting Ollie in. It's Darren Fletcher till the end of the season. It's Darren Fletcher. Because if you miss a game as a senior, then they will cancel it and give it to someone else. That's the problem with the season tickets as well. That's a problem. A clause in there which is just fucking stupid. I just can't believe we've sacked Amorim today. I feel sorry for him because he wanted signings. He wanted to be backed in January. He made the comments yesterday. He wanted to be a manager. He didn't get Semenyo. He isn't going to get any more signings. And basically, that was the end. Soon as he called out those prats yesterday, that was it. I called it yesterday. I fucking called this yesterday. How do you know he brought in Fletcher until the end? It's 1 game max. Because that's what they're saying. It's Fletcher till the end. Even Ben Jacobs is saying it. Ben Jacobs, David Ornstein, it's Fletcher till the end of the season. And then they're bringing in a new permanent manager. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Like, it's just a fucking shit show. It's just embarrassing. United is really going down. Matt Amorim was actually a decent manager. Yeah, so this is the Ben Jacobs update. Man United plan to appoint a permanent manager in the summer and an interim until the end of the season. Darren Fletcher to continue until a plan in place. So Fletcher looks like he's got Burnley and Brighton. He looks like he's got Burnley and Brighton, his next two. United will officially announce a new manager in the summer. Until then, Fletcher is expected to take charge internally at the club. Well, there we go. There's your answer. It's Fletcher till the end of the season. It's Darren Fletcher. Fletcher interim till June. New manager asked. United have stated themselves on the instant that Fletcher is coming. United really going down. Yeah, the plan to see out the season with Fletcher and then assess the manager. The board needs sacking, not him. It's the players, not the manager. Feel bad for Ruben and Ollie. Honestly, as a Leicester fan, Amorim was a good manager. He got you top 6. And just because of the 2 draws, he's gone. I blame Amorim for us losing and drawing games because he doesn't change the system justice. Anyone know if he's a decent manager? The Glazers, Sir Jim, both need the sacking. United is lost. We're more lost than the fucking TV series. It's embarrassing. I am disappointed. Like, it's embarrassing having to talk about this. Like, it's a major, major L for the football club. I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for the supporters because the situation we find ourselves in, it's just embarrassing. It's massively, massively embarrassing. And I feel sorry for us. Like, I feel sorry for everybody because we did deserve to wake up to this on a Monday. And it's only Monday. I mean, we're not even on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday then, Saturday, Sunday, what? We're only on Monday. And it's just... I'm just embarrassed. Everyone says Aaron was a bad man, but he's brought us to top 6 from where we was. Exactly. That is very, very true. That is true. Like, I would agree with you on that. That is true. He did get us top 6. Like, he has got us into the top 6, granted. But 10 managers in 13 years is a joke. Hopefully it continues. Top 6 isn't good enough. Yeah, it's just a shit show, isn't it, really? It's just a fucking shit show. And it's not going to get any better, I don't think, anytime soon. I think the club's in Tin Pot United. You also made us finish just above relegation, so anything is an improvement. You many happy all the Amorim haters now have gone. Top 6 is good enough for what we are going through. Banter FC, so Fishman, Baxter, _ you never walk alone. What is even Manchester United standards now? I do have a feeling we go out there and beat Burnley 5-0. That's the problem. There'll be a new manager bounce. It will start going all right. They'll give Fletcher the job. And then a year and 18 months later, we'll find ourselves exactly in the same situation all over again. That's what's going to happen. We'll be back in the same situation all over again. 18 months' time, we'll be sacking another manager. And it'll be Ineos and the Glazers and Omar and Jason Wilcox that will do it. Oh, I'm calling it now. They'll get a new manager and then they'll end up sacking him 18 months later. Because there's never enough investment. There's never enough money spent in the summer. There's never enough money ever spent in January. We don't spend enough money. Like, spending over 200 million in the summer was a joke. What the fuck was that meant to do? What was 200 million meant to do in the summer? He wanted Belieber, he didn't get him. He wanted Nuno Mendes, didn't get him either. He wanted Ollie Watkins and he didn't get him. So that's 3 major signings that Amorim wanted, but he never got delivered. That isn't backing. That is throwing another manager under the bus and not getting him the players he wants. He also wanted Gyökeres, didn't get him. So he also wanted Ryan Cherky, didn't get him either. A lot of this was dependent on us winning the Europa League. A lot of this was dependent on Manchester United winning UEFA Europa League. And we didn't. We bantered ourselves in that. Bantered ourselves. I'm not going to be live for much longer. I do appreciate people asking to join in everything, but I'm not going to be live for much longer. If Amorim got what he want, who knows where we would have been now exactly. I just feel sorry for everybody today because this was not what I expected. Well, at least Kobe will be able to play until February. It would be a massive shock now if Kobe gets back in, Fernandes is back, Mount's back, De Ligt comes back, Maguire comes back. Well, I don't think we'll qualify for Europe. I don't think we'll get European football. I think the season's just going to crash and burn in front of our eyes. I think the season will just crash and burn now. I think the season will just cave in. Because a lot of these players have got another manager sacked. Thanks for the memories, Grimsby. Was a highlight for me. We are really going down, man. It's only going to get a lot worse, isn't it? Like, I can't believe we've had to talk about this today. But I called it last night. Will Amorim resign or will he be sacked? And again, I called it last night. I said when we did that reaction, will he resign? I thought he would, but I didn't think he was going to get sacked. But the inevitable's happened and he has lost his job. And where do we go from here? I don't know. But there clearly will be a new manager bounce. The players will start playing again. We'll start performing as a team. We'll start smacking teams 4 or 5-0 at Old Trafford or away from home. But then you've still got City to play, Arsenal to play, and that's going to be another drubbing. So I don't expect to get anything at the Emirates. I don't expect to get anything at Old Trafford when we play in the Manchester Derby. We'll probably beat Burnley. We'll probably beat Brighton in the FA Cup. And then all of a sudden, everything will be alive and well. And then when we play City and get destroyed by Arsenal, it'll be back down to reality. It's like an endless cycle, says Shay. It's just hard to believe that Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ten Hag, and all managers. As fun for nearly 40 years, I'm so happy he's gone. I think a lot of people, I probably put myself in that category. I am glad to an extent Amorim has gone. But when we got him, I was excited because I thought new direction, new way of playing, new formation, new setup, a different way to play, everyone in different positions. I thought we would benefit that from a different change of the way we used to play. But obviously it has backfired. He was managing in the Portuguese league, no disrespect. Now, as a Portuguese, Ruben was the man you're lost. Exactly. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him because he wasn't backed in this January transfer window. He wanted Semenyo, didn't get given him, and wasn't allowed any more signings being brought in. As for last summer, the midfield got neglected. He didn't want Patrick Dorgu. I don't know why Man United went anywhere near Patrick Dorgu. Like, we brought in a £20 million Serie A relegation threatened player who was playing for Lecce. We spent nearly 30 million on Dorgu. I don't know why we did that. He didn't even want Dorgu. He wanted Nuno Mendes from PSG. But United were like, we're not spending 60, 70, 80 million on players anymore. But yet, we went and spent 70 on Mbeumo. We went and spent 68 million on Matthias Cunha. We went and spent nearly 70 to 80 on Benjamin Sesko. And United said, we're not going to do that anymore. And yet they still went and did it. So why didn't they go and get Nuno Mendes? Why did they ignore the manager when he wanted Ollie Watkins and not Sesko? Why did they ignore Amorim? Why didn't they replace bringing the goalkeeper a lot sooner when Onana was a problem? A lot of people pinpointing getting rid of Rasmus was a big no-no, but Rasmus was shit. People saying Rashford and Sancho should be given another chance. I don't think so. They were both a liability and a problem at this football club. The midfield got ignored. He wanted Belieber, wanted Wharton, wanted Anderson, and looks like none of them will come now considering the position this club now finds itself in. This football club's in a mess. Let's be honest. Administration is rotten, man, coaches, and were never a problem. Can't agree there. No loss to us, in my opinion. If the stats were better, it'd be like give time. But the board ignored Ollie about Haaland, also ignored Ralph with many top players now. Dorgu is just as bad as Onana was. Exactly. I didn't want Dorgu. I wanted Onana. I wanted Nuno Mendes. He was the top choice for that left back role, and the club ignored it. The club ignored it. Why would you go and ignore the manager, what he wanted? Why did you ignore him? Like, Ten Hag wanted many players and he didn't get given them. That's not fair. You can't lie to the manager. The board wanted to bring in Lemens in as number 2 to Onana. Facts, exactly. Surely McKenna has to be the favourite. So are you happy with the board? Yes, but Nuno Mendes would never trade PSG for Manchester United. Amorim is a great manager. It's just sad. Like, it's really, really sad what we've become. It is really, really sad what we have become. I am embarrassed, but I'm not surprised. Sesko, we should have never brought. Dorgu, we should have never brought. Lemens should have been brought in a lot sooner, before the season started, and was brought late in the summer on deadline day, where it should have been a goalkeeper and a midfielder. We tried to get Conor Gallagher. We didn't get him. What's wrong with Darren Fletcher as an interim? Because there will be a new manager bounce. We'll start smacking teams 4 or 5-0. We'll get destroyed by Man City, destroyed by Arsenal. Then it will be all right full of February. It'll be all right through March. And then they'll give him the job. The players will then back Fletcher. Give it to Fletcher. Give it to Fletcher. We want him as our next manager. They'll give it to Fletcher. And then in 18 months' time, we'll be sacking another manager. We'll be back in exactly the same position all over again. And if you get Glasner, he'll be a yes man. I don't want another yes man at this football club. I don't want another yes man. You can be the next man of Man United still. My team will be relegated to the Championship. And Villa 12 says they want a yes man. Exactly. They won't go anywhere near Enrique. They won't go for Maresca. They won't go for Enrique. They won't go for Emery. They won't go for Conte, because they will all want to. They won't be yes men to this incompetent swats. They probably want a Southgate, a McKenna, a Fletcher, a Carrick, or a Glasner, so they can dictate to all those managers, so they can control them by puppet strings. Xavi is an option. Southgate will be the next manager. If they go for Gareth Southgate, I won't be supporting the club anymore. If they go for Southgate, that will be it. If they were to go for Southgate, I won't be supporting the club anymore, because that's not the way to go. And Rick _A_86 has said, United need to be ruthless, approach the best out there, pay what it takes and let them manage. Exactly. Completely agree. Let United be ruthless, approach the best out there, pay what it takes and let them manage. But they won't do it, but I like the comment, so I am going to pin it. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow on TikTok if you're watching. Glasner won't go to United until the same thing at United as why he's leaving Palace. Exactly. I mean, Crystal Palace have had a better transfer window than us, because Crystal Palace have brought in Brennan Johnson. They've had a better transfer window than us. At least they've bought players. Brentford are going to buy players. Bournemouth will buy players. City and Arsenal plan to do business. So are Liverpool, so are Spurs, so are Chelsea. And we're going to be sat there on our lazy ass doing fuck all. So, at the end of the day, I can't be really surprised that we're going for a yes man so we can control what they do. We are basically just a circus. Exactly. We are basically just a fucking circus. And we are. We are a circus, and it's fucking laughable. It's embarrassing. And I'm ashamed to be associated with this football club. Like, I am ashamed, because I love Manchester United. I've supported this club all my life. But if someone would have said we would be on coach number 11 in 13 years, I wouldn't have believed you. But as soon as, like I said, Fergie fucked off, the Glazers took back control. But it's also down to decisions like Why hasn't Maguire been removed? Why is Casemiro still here? Luke Shaw? I mean, if you look at that current United squad and you look at who we have, if you look at the current United squad and the players we do have, if you look at the squad, Bielsa got Ten Hag sacked, so did Tom Heaton, so did Onana, so did Delo, so did Mazraoui, so did De Ligt and Maguire and Martinez and Malacia, and so did Yoro, Shaw, Heaven, Fredrickson, Amas, Mount, Fernandez, Casemiro, Agate, Mainu, Collier, Dangor, Rasmus, Xerxes, Ahmad, Wheatley, Rashford, Sancho. They all got Ten Hag sacked, and yet again they've got Amorim sacked. Bielsa got Amorim sacked. So did Tom Heaton, Lament, Delo, Maguire, Mazraoui, Martinez, Malacia, Dorgu, Yoro, Shaw, Heaven, Fredrickson, Leon, Amas, Mount, Fernandez, Casemiro, Agate, Mainu, Collier, Dangor, Kuna, Xerxes, Ahmad, Mbuemo, Sesko, Obi, all got Ten Hag, they all got Amorim sacked. All those players have got Amorim sacked. They all got him sacked. So a lot of these players have won. A lot of these players, unfortunately, have won. A lot of these players have won. Player power clearly exists. Player power clearly exists. These players have won again. A lot of them are going to be celebrating tonight. And again, that isn't good enough. I support Man United too, but the way the team is doing things is horrendous. I completely agree with you. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. It's shambolic. It's just a fucking shit show. It's just an utter fucking shit show. And I'm embarrassed to be associated with them. Like, I am embarrassed to be associated with this club because I've supported them all my life and I didn't expect it to be like this today. I honestly thought there'd be a resolution to all this and that they would listen to Amorim and back him and give him some signings and get some players in a January transfer window. But all that's gone up in smoke. All that's gone up in smoke. I mean, I can't imagine what this is going to do to the summer budget. January, we won't do anything. Will they even back Fletcher? Is a big talking point. Will they even back Fletcher? If he wants players, will they bring them in? We need new owners and a new board. I believe we'd finish above Liverpool now. I'm not so sure, to be honest. I don't know what this is going to do to our season, but I think it's just going to cave in my opinion. I think the season will just cave in. I don't think there's any way out. I don't think there's any way this club gets back to where it needs to be. I don't see a success story. I don't see a plan. I don't see a vision. I don't see a structure. I don't see a board. I don't see owners. I don't see any belief in what we can do. Do you think that's it then? Sack it off? Yeah, I think that is it. I think United are finished. I think the whole situation it's done. There's no way back. There is no way back. Unless the Glazers sell the club and Ineos go with them and we get rich-ass billionaire owners brought in who are allowed to be ruthless and get rid of who they want, players-wise, go and get the best coach, build an elite stadium, pay the debt off. That's the only way I see us getting back. But right here, right now, I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's going to happen. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the sacking? Surprised, but not really surprised. I saw it coming last night. I called it out last night. When we went live thinking, will Amorim resign? I did call it. Like, I did call it last night. This was going to be the end. And Amorim would be gone. So, I think the situation now is at crisis point. I think we'll start improving. The players might start performing. We'll go on a new manager bounce because Amorim's gone. And we'll start getting players back who weren't part of the plans. Like Mainu wouldn't surprise me if he gets back in. Fernandez and Mount get back in from injury. Because the whole club is just a mess from top to bottom. The whole club's a mess. Those players have won, that's the thing. No manager wants to come here, exactly. End of the day, the players need to take some blame, exactly. There was a civil war going on behind the scenes, exactly. It's like World War III is happening. It's like World War III is actually happening. Which is massively, massively scary. Like, it feels like World War III is actually happening. And that's the scary thing. Wolves and Leeds makes sense with the team we had out. AFCON and Bruno 2 points was enough. We can't keep using injuries and AFCON as an excuse. We can't keep using it as an excuse. We still had players who could still do a job. And they can't do it because they ain't good enough. New owners, new stadium, cleared debt. Sir Alex Ferguson era advisors, huge marquee proven signings needed. Being United's manager might be the hardest job in football now. Completely agree with Rahul. They only came for the money. We need people who play for the badge. You're delusional. Start improving. You're 6th last year you were 12th. There is progress. Steve, I would agree with you. I'm not delusional. I take that remark quite personal. There is progress. We're not in the position we were in the league last season where we are today. But the results have proved we ain't good enough. The players we have don't give a fuck. They're only there for a pay packet. They won't perform when the going gets tough. They're too inconsistent. He literally went into the conference asking for the sack. Exactly, Steve. So why sack Amorim? Exactly. The performances have shown we've not been good enough. If they brought Roy Keane in, Red Neves made a good point. Imagine if Roy Keane was brought in as an assistant. Those players would shit themselves because Roy Keane calls it out for what it is. Can you imagine what Roy Keane's thinking right now? Could you imagine what Roy Keane's thinking? 15 wins and 50, you think that's acceptable? No, I don't. 15 games out of 50 and winning only 15 is disgusting. And this was only going to end one way and one way. I called it the other day. This is all going to end in tears. And again, it's ended in tears. But Amorim and his coaching staff walked out of Old Trafford laughing. They walked out of Manchester United laughing their faces off, and I don't understand that. Apparently, Amorim and his coaches walked out laughing. I don't find the situation very funny, Ruben. I'm not being funny. I don't find this situation very funny. I really don't. I really don't. Ruben prefers being sacked as manager. Listen to this, right? Staff at Carrington were surprised to see Ruben and his coach staff leaving the training ground laughing and joking. Like, what the fuck's that about? Like, what's that about? It's not even funny. Roy Keane is probably laughing. Making players shit themselves is bullying, not leadership. He had enough. He went into the conference all guns blazing for his payout. Ruben's probably happy to be rid of us, to be honest. It's just embarrassing. Like, please smash that like button. Please give me a follow on TikTok if you're watching. It's just massively embarrassing. Like, I just don't think there's any way back, unfortunately. I just don't think there's any way back. Yeah, Ruben knew what he was doing in the press conference. He was his own architect there, here. Exactly. He called out the board knowing he was going to lose. Yeah, that's very, very true. I would agree with that. I think he knew what he was doing. I think as soon as he made those comments that he knew he was a dead man walking, basically. I think he knew. He made those comments out of frustration and anger. And maybe he deep down regrets that. Maybe he thinks, maybe I should have kept those opinions inside. But you've got to be honest in life. If you don't be honest and tell the truth, you won't really get very far in life. So I appreciate Amorim's honesty. And I appreciate that he's actually called out the truth for what it is. That board and those owners are a fucking joke. Proven manager told how to manage. Let's see Wilcox manage. Exactly, Steve. Completely agree with that. It's still not a justified decision to sack him. Dead man walking low, bro. Dead team needed a rebuild. Dead team need exactly. We never do this rebuild. This is another thing. Whenever the club say we're going to do a rebuild, they never do it. They never splash enough money and get rid of the problems. Because what if this new manager comes in? I want Rasmus brought back. I want Rashford brought back. I want Sancho back. I'm giving them all a chance again. Ragnick was right about the open heart surgery. Yeah, Ralph Ragnick was right. It's a shame that open heart surgery never happened. Bruno, player manager who says no. I feel like the board just accept to be mid-table. I don't know. Yeah, they probably do, Raul. They probably do, buddy. They probably just accept it. They probably just fall to the standards now. And unfortunately, a lot of you fans and a lot of supporters, you have fallen with them. A lot of you fans have fallen to the standards. A lot of United fans and supporters have fallen to the standards the club is showing now. A lot of fans have just given up, but I ain't giving up. I'm not giving up on this club because I want a solution. I want a resolution to all this. We need to do something as a fan base. Get games called off. Get games abandoned. Don't buy the kit. Don't buy the merch. Just don't do anything Manchester United related. Bleed that club dry. You can't say he's not a good enough manager. He's not got the squad. Exactly. He didn't have the squad in the first place. Adding in Buemo, Kuna, Sesko and a goalkeeper in was not enough. He needed at least 2 midfielders. He needed 2 decent wing backs, a backup goalkeeper for the men's to get rid of Onana. They didn't get rid of the players that were needed to got rid of. And a lot of players are going to be rubbing their hands together now thinking we've got an opportunity now to stay. Agate might stay now, which is a dreaded thought. Casemiro might even stay. Fernandes, I think, will go. He might want to be out of it by January because he had a good relationship with Amorim, only because he was Portuguese. Delo, again, might go. Again, apparently he's related to Amorim, which I don't get. Rasmus might get a chance when he comes back. Rashford, Sancho might get given a... That's the problem. Bruno's been here for about 7 managers. Very true, very true. It's too stressful to watch them play, says Lois. Exactly. Countless managers have told United what the problem is and got sacked for it. It's madness, says Sniper Mum 97. Exactly. Too many managers have called out the truth. Too many managers have called out the truth and the club shit themselves. They basically shit a brick. As soon as they tell the truth, as soon as they call it out, the club shit themselves. The club absolutely sit there and shit a brick. They don't like it. I think you'll look at things through Portuguese tinted. I think Rahul's being correct. I think we're just expressing our views and opinions. Luke Shaw has been here for all 10 managers, just going in a circle for 10 years. Exactly. Please smash that like button. Give me a follow on TikTok if you're watching. We've just been going in a circle for 13 years. That's the problem. We've been in a circle. We're basically in a maths lesson doing shapes. Absolute gutted he's been sacked. We're 6th, not far behind Liverpool with kids on the bench. Exactly. And the problem is a lot of those kids will be on the bench of Burnley. A lot of those kids will be on the bench of Brighton. A lot of them will be on the bench for City. And a lot of them will be on the bench for Arsenal. Because they won't back Fletcher. They won't bring players in. He's only an interim. They won't bring players in. They won't bring in signings. They won't do it. Luke Shaw's having a Chinese tonight with Fletcher. He probably is. A lot of players are celebrating this sacking. I'll tell you that for a fact. A lot of players are celebrating this sacking tonight. A lot of players are celebrating it. And this is what pisses me off. Because the players have won. Player power has succeeded. Am I the only one who rates Shaw? I think Luke Shaw's been done since he broke his leg. I mean, fair play, he's kept himself fit. But he's crap in general terms. Both Fletchers in the midfield at the weekend. Oh my God! Don't give me false hope. People blaming the bench. What about losing to 10 men? Everton drawing to West Ham, etc. with the full squad. I feel like Man United need the Glazers gone too. Who agree? Exactly. I want the Glazers gone. I want Ineos gone. But that won't happen until we protest, get games called off or abandoned. This fan base doesn't do anything. Stop attending home games. Rip up your season tickets. Cancel them. Just get games abandoned. Get games called off. You did it for the Liverpool game, so it's easy to do it again. You just got to storm Old Trafford. You've just got to storm Old Trafford. That's the only thing you can do, is get games called off. We can't do anything because of the... We can't do... Exactly. Look at what Sheffield Wednesday did. Exactly. Look at what Sheffield Wednesday did. But I don't think even that, Enzo Maresca to United, Ruben Amorim to Chelsea, that would be wild. That would be absolutely wild if that was to happen. Ruben Amorim to Chelsea, and then Maresca to United. Oh, just don't. Protests need to happen. Chelsea already got their man. Apparently Michael Carrick's now a solution. Michael Carrick is among the candidates to become interim manager until the end of the season. Man United's stance is that Ruben Amorim knew he was getting a head coach title. They supported his decision on wanting 2 players behind the striker. They backed his decision to get rid of Garnacho, and they never told him who to play. That is utter bullshit. If Man United make a move for a player this month, it will be someone who's on their list for the summer, or someone like Jan Domenda who could have significant interest, and I'll need to move fast on them. Saudi dealmakers will see after World Cup if Bruno Fernandes will be prepared to join. Kobe Mainoo, Xerxes and Agate were desperate to leave this month had Amorim stayed in charge. It's just a fucking shit show, innit? It's just a fucking shit show. I want Zidane as manager. Chelsea already got their man. Zidane isn't coming to United. Playing decent football under Carrick. Those few games, to be fair, can't be any worse. I will refuse to watch Man United if it's all Carrick or Fletcher till the end of the season. Amorim should have stayed. And thank you for the follow, Harin, as well. Very much appreciated. But yeah, we got the news that I expected to happen, and that obviously Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United. We're now on coach number 11 till God knows when. I think it will be Fletcher till the end of the season, and then we'll get a new manager in the summer. So that's what I can see happening, and I think that's what the club have basically confirmed anyway, is that we are going to be on Fletcher till the end of the season. We'll have a new manager in the summer. God knows what the summer's going to look like now with Amorim gone, because we had Anderson on there. We had Belieber. Dreading Wednesday says Cornsey. I hope I pronounced that right, my friend. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow. I don't know what this is going to do to the football club. I'm dreading Wednesday now, but I think there'll be a new manager bounce that Amorim's gone. I think there will be a new manager bounce. We'll start playing well. We'll start smashing teams 4 or 5-0. But we can't keep sacking managers. We can't keep repeating the cycle. But Amorim, I thought in weeks, felt like... I thought Amorim was gone quite quickly. And they've obviously made that decision to sack him. I didn't expect him to be sacked. I thought there would be a solution, a resolution to all this. And that they would back him. But they're not going to listen to Amorim, are they? They were never going to listen. They don't listen to the fans, and they were never going to listen to someone they had puppet on a string. Anderson expectations just dropped to Ruben Neves, boys. Smashing teams 4 or 5-0 hasn't happened in about 10 years. He deserved to be sacked. Stretford end, and I'm ready for a riot. I'm dreading Wednesday. I'm dreading the Brighton game because I don't know what performances we're going to get. I'm dreading the team we're going to put out with, but don't be surprised if Mainoo's back in, Fernandes is back in, Mount's back in, De Ligt's back in, Maguire's back in. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised now. The handbrake's off in it. The handbrake is off. The handbrake's off now. Hopefully this is going to be the start of hopefully something special. It's the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Oh. Honestly, it's like fucking High School Musical. Is it going to be the start of something new? Honestly, I don't think it will be. But you've got to be optimistic, I suppose, that he is gone. But I feel sorry for him because I wanted it to succeed because I was excited when we got him. I honestly thought when we got Amorim, this was going to be exciting. Incoming draw with Burnley, honestly, says Champagne. Champagne. I hope I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, like, I'm dreading it now. Like, I'm really, really dreading Burnley. I'm dreading the FA Cup. So Sesko, Onana, Hoyland, Sancho, Malacia, Dorgu, Xerxes, Garte, Mazraoui, Heaton to start. I think there's at least 23 players in that squad I would shift. At least 23. At least 23. Then use funds for marquee signings to set a base. It's just not looking good, is it? Like, I feel sorry for Amorim in aspects, but the formation, the way we were playing, the way he set us up, was always going to be doomed to fail. It was going to fail, and I think we all saw that coming. And I think him getting sacked, it might be a blessing in disguise, but it may just cave in the season. It may just cave in the season now, and the handbrake's off in it. So the problem is, how are the players going to respond? Is it going to be a positive? Is it going to be a negative? Do you watch football with your eyes closed? Mazraoui was our best player last season. Are you trying to be Mark Goldbridge? No, I'm not trying to be Mark Goldbridge, Logan. I'm trying to be myself, thank you. So I just express my views and opinions on how I feel with United, to be fair. Everyone's got a different view and opinion, to be fair. Fuck me, what's wrong with people today? What is it, Toxic Monday? Is it Toxic Monday? Is everyone having a shit start to their week? Is everyone annoyed that Ruben Amorim's been sacked? I think everybody knew he was going to get sacked anyway, so what are people moaning about? Like, he was going to get sacked anyway. So, what's the point? But thank you for moderators, by the way, for actually standing up to people in a live chat and actually getting rid of the toxicity. We're not having it on a Monday. It's only Monday. Has he actually gone? Yeah, Ruben Amorim has been sacked. So, we're on manager number 11. We've got Burnley on Wednesday. God knows how that's going to go. Like, absolutely, God knows how that's going to go. I will be with you in about 4 minutes as well. I'll jump on some games with you. We have to look forward to Burnley now. But we're on manager number 11 inside 13 years. So it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking very positive for United. But I saw this coming a mile off. So I can't really be surprised by Amorim sacking today. I think, will it be a positive? Will it be a negative? We can only see what happens against Burnley on Wednesday. It's a strange one because he was doing all right table-wise. Yeah, but the results weren't improving and there was a major bust-up on Friday before the Leeds game and he was told he was sacked on Friday. So Leeds was his last game in charge. So people need to realise that before Fergie, we haven't won a Leeds title in years. Exactly. I just don't think there's any way back. But all I can say is let's see what happens on Wednesday against Burnley and Brighton in our next two. I think that's going to be a very telltale sign of how we're performing and playing. I'm honestly judging European football. We'll be lucky if we get European football. But there's always going to be a reaction from the players anyway. He got sacked, exactly. But will you think we'll play the same team on Wednesday? I'm not sure. I don't know what Fletcher's going to do. I don't know what he's capable of. So all I can say is let's hope we can try and get a positive result and start with a winning start. But yeah, we are going to need a Christmas miracle. I think. And it wouldn't be surprised if he chucks both his sons into the team. That would not surprise me at all if that was to happen. But I'm going to leave it there. Obviously, Man United have sacked Ruben Amorim. He is gone. He's officially lost his job as Manchester United's manager. We're now on coach number 11 till the end of the season. Where is it going to go? What is this going to lead to? I've got absolutely no idea. Will we regret sacking Amorim? Will it be a positive that he's gone? Will we start playing better football? Or will the same mistakes continue under Ineos and the Glazers until Man United's future? Will it ever get resolved? I don't think it will. So thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Welcome to all the new followers. Thank you for all the gifts as well. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in. I appreciate all your guys' support. I'm sorry Monday's been a bit of a bad start to everybody's week. I apologise on the behalf of Manchester United what they've put everybody through again today. We didn't deserve this. I didn't see it happening, but I called it last night that Amorim was going to get sacked or he would resign anyway. So try and enjoy the rest of your Mondays, everybody. I know it's going to be quite difficult because this news is a big shock, but I saw this coming a mile off. So all I can say is let's bring on Burnley on Wednesday and let's take it from there. We're gonna have to be there for each other. We're gonna have to support each other because a lot of people are going to be feeling the effects of this today, and we don't know how the fan base and supporters are always going to react to a manager losing his job. But hopefully things can pick up. Hopefully things can improve. So let's go from Wednesday from Burnley and then see what we can do at the FA Cup at Old Trafford against Brighton on Sunday evening. So enjoy every Monday afternoon, whatever you guys are all doing. Stay safe. Be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends, you're all legendary. See you all on the next one. Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim.